and thank you for stopping by the garage. Just a quick video today to introduce what my next project is before I lift the body up to show you what is underneath. A little backstory on this one. Last summer, a friend of mine that I've worked together with in Cub Scouts, we were Cub Scout leaders together for many, many years, came up to me and said, "Hey, I know you're into RC cars and models and you have a channel," and gave me a nice compliment that he's seen it and all that good stuff. It's always great to hear. But anyway, he said, "I've got a couple RC cars and some stuff just sitting in my garage collecting dust. I've had since I was a kid," and he's, my age, mid upper 40s, so we're talking about 1980s stuff, so that's awesome. Right in the sweet spot. He says, "Would you like to have them? I just want to get them out of the garage, and I know they would be at a good home with you, and you can use them." And I said, "Well, yeah, sure. I'd love it. Would just always could use something for the channel, and if it's toy grade, great. I will do something with it, and if it's hobby grade, even better." So, my expectations were, I don't know what I'm getting. Didn't get my hopes up too much. And then when he dropped off, we had two models. The first one, which I restored last summer, was this guy. Maruwi Racing Ninja, which admittedly, before he gave it to me, I hadn't really heard of this one in so much. And then I posted pictures of it in its rough form, and people were offering to buy it left and right, and I was like, "Oh, wow, I guess I've got something here." So I restored this one using mostly original parts. The mechanical speed control was all there, but it was very rusty and just looked awful, so I didn't go that route. I had a Tamiya ESC laying around, so I just put it in here to make it go. You purists who do the mechanical speed controls, good for you. It wasn't for me. Didn't care. This is fine. The rest of it's all original for the most part. The body is a reproduction that I ordered online. The stickers are MCI graphics reproduction stickers. The motor, this is actually a Tamiya silver can, but when I looked at the motor that was in the original motor, it didn't work. The wires, it had some miles on it, so it didn't work anymore. But it was the same, what was it, Marbushi 540 motor that Tamiya uses. So for all intents and purposes, this is an original style motor. It's the exact model and everything that this model used back then. So this was the first restoration. The only thing, I've got the original shocks. They leak terribly. I've since drained the oil out of them so that it would stop leaking everywhere. I did have to get a 3D printed battery door that I found on Shapeways. And then I'm eventually probably going to have to replace this backside with a new 3D printed one, just because it's starting to crack. Right there, you can't really see in the camera, but as I do, it's just a really thin piece of plastic to hold this whole backside of the car on. I guess that's a common problem. So anyway, that was the one model that was in there. So when I looked it up, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And we since, once I've got it back up and running, Bob is his name, I invited him over. And we went to the park, and he got to run that car again. He was super excited to have his childhood, and I let him run it up and down the park and all that sort of stuff. He had a great time. He ran a couple batteries through it. Big smile on his face, so that's what it was all for. And I just loved to build them, and it was awesome to see him run his old car again. So the other one in there, this body was on it, just sitting on it like this. There was no posts or anything, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's a pretty cool body," as you can see. Great illustration of the dust that he was talking about. So nice and dusty. I take the body off, and I see a two-wheel drive buggy. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm not really sure what this is, but did some research and really got looking at it. I was like, "Well, wait a minute. Two-wheel drive, but it looks like it used to be a four-wheel drive buggy," if you can see in there. It's got the holes and stuff, and I see here used to be, looks like a belt drive. It's like, huh, this used to be a 4-wheel drive buggy. You know, the wheels aren't right. These are aftermarket wheels. The A-arms, especially on the front, are aftermarket. The motor, of course, is aftermarket. So I didn't really recognize it right away. And I posted pictures of it just like this online, I think on some Facebook groups. And it came back. Does anybody know what I've got in my hands yet? Guess? Guess 1? Guess 2? Guess 3? This is an original 1980s Kyosho Optima Mid. It's missing some parts, but that's what this is. So when I heard that, I was like, oh wow, because that, you know, the re-release was still pretty hot last summer when this came out. So I was pretty excited to have an original here. And the great thing is, with the re-release, all the parts for this bad boy are readily available from Kyosho in the original form. So is that making it a true restoration? Well, purists might argue, but I'll be using some re-release parts. I'll show you those in a second, to rebuild this bad boy and bring it back up to, I wouldn't say shelf clean. I'm not a shelf cleaner. I'm still going to have the same chassis. You can see it's been run. It's going to look like it's been run. But I'm going to make it almost like new. So this is the original body. Kyosho genuine Kyosho Optima Mid body with the decals, and I will do stock, I guess box art, if you will, but that's the look I'm going for with it. And I've been slowly collecting a box of parts to redo it. I'm going to replace all the screws, because some of them are pretty rusty and ground off, because just the nature of the beast with this on the bottom. So, you know, it's got all these screw heads exposed. They're in good shape though, but they're different ones. We've got some Phillips, we've got some silver, we've got some Allen heads for the servo. We're missing some up here because of the switch to 4-wheel or 2-wheel drive. And then, you know, different 80s, you lose a screw, you just go in Dad's screw jar and you get a new screw. So I got a full screw set for it. It's slightly upgrade. I did the Racing titanium screw assortment. Comes with a box because I don't know. I'm going to use all of them, so I probably won't need the box anymore. Got the new drive belt, and that's the front end gearing to get it back to 4-wheel drive. Original block tires from the Kyosho Optima Mid. So I've got a set of those for 4-wheel drive. Here's the transmission cover and the belt cover set. Got the original Kyosho Optima Mid wheels we're going to throw on this bad boy. Let's see. The wing stay and bumper set, Kyosho Optima Mid. Bring it back to stock because you can see it's not on here anymore. So we're going to add that to it. Got new suspension arms because these aren't original. These are an upgrade. I forget. Somebody told me these were an awesome upgrade back in the day. I can't remember what they are. Because I did post this on the internet, asked for a lot of questions because I wasn't sure what was original and what wasn't. Short of doing my own research. So these aren't original. This one's got just a little bit of damage. Not sure what went on there. So I'm going to replace the suspension arms. Bring those back to original. Some diff parts. A slipper clutch plate. New turnbuckles to replace all of those, and I did the Racing titanium because it's what I found. And they look good. More inner diff parts for the rear. More diff for the other side. And then the one upgrade I'm going to go with, because these drive shafts are missing, so I had to do some anyway. I'm doing the all one piece so we don't have the dog bones, the universals. And I got 2 sets of those to go on there. And then finally, a wing. I love these hard Kyosho, hard plastic wings. Well, I think it's going to look good. So these are all the parts I've got. Everything else I'm going to pretty much keep original. I think I can clean up. I might even reuse this motor. I don't know. I'm going to test it and see what condition it's in and see what it's all about. I don't see why not. I'm not going to go brushless or anything silly like that. It even has the original Futaba servo. If that works, I might still use it. I don't know. But I see some, rusty parts I've got to clean up. I've got a new ultrasonic cleaner too, so all of this stuff, all these parts, going to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. And save what I can, replace what I need, and go from there. So that is the next project. This one's been sitting and waiting for at least almost a year. I think he got it in May, so it'll be a year in May. It's been up on the shelf. So it's this guy's turn to go. So stay tuned for that. That'll be the next video. Alright. Thank you for stopping by the garage, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Help support the channel.